Hello and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast with me, your fabulous host Gareth and Keith. We can't maintain an internet connection or power on a Sunday, and that's why we didn't have one last Sunday, because he lives in a place with no infrastructure.
It finally came back like full power after past midnight. I mean, it was, three hours. I think it went out at 9:30, like literally about 5 minutes before we were due to start. And then it kind of came back at about midnight, well, half past midnight. And hey Biffa, why have you quit YouTube? Sorry, I should be doing that in the comment stage, but hi.
Well, we'll get an answer when we'll get up. We'll wait for the answer when we get there. So, yeah. Oh crikey! I didn't put that in there. I should have put that in there.
Well, we can grab it.
We can grab it. So, watching it. Have you watched Tulsa King?
Yes, I watched the first episode of that. Yeah, sorry, no, yeah, you just reminded me. Yes, I watched the first episode of that. I saw this week's South Park, which is just fucking genius.
What was this week's South Park?
They were taking the mick out. Well, what didn't they take the piss out of? They took the piss out of the FCC, naturally. They took the piss out of these apps that I've not really heard of that are perfectly legal in the States, but get round certain... basically, it's gambling, and they get round all the gambling laws, so that, you know... And basically, the bet was that Carl's mum was going to get really angry, go to Israel and bomb Hamas, right? And it was just it was the way it all came together at the end, and it just genius. And they had like because they've got what's his face, the vice president, as this little Love Island dwarf. And he's threatening the FCC guy. And at the end he goes, we can do this the easy way. Or we can do this the hard way. That's fucking genius. Yeah. It's spot on at the moment, South Park. It really is. It takes no prisoners on both sides, and that's why I like it. So, yeah, I watched that. What else have I seen this week? Obviously, Slow Horses. Invasion, which is a bit meh. I'm just watching The House of Guinness, which is Peaky Blinders with Irish accents and beer. But it's quite good. It is by the same guy that does Peaky Blinders, so it literally is Peaky Blinders with beer and Irish accents. And so yeah, I've been watching that as well. I watched The Hack as well this week. I've been a bit ill the last few days, so I've watched quite a lot of shit. So I watched The Hack with David Tennant. Oh, that was interesting, actually. That was different. It wasn't what I was expecting. It was quite good. So yeah, I watched a lot of shit this week.
Yeah, just realised my fill light's not filling enough.
It's filling.
It's a bit too filling now. Anyway, shall we get on with the news?
Yes.
Yeah, hang on a second.
All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
At the Star Trek Voyager 30th anniversary panel, showrunner Brandon Braga was made waves by comparing today's streaming-era TV series to Tinder relationships. He argued that the franchise has lost part of its magic because modern shows only deliver 8 to 10 episodes every couple of years, instead of 26-episode runs that build long-term bonds with fans in the 90s. Braga's point: shorter seasons may be slicker, more cost-effective, but it's harder to invest emotionally and less likely to become a generational comfort TV. And I think he's right. Oh, fuck off. If you hang on a second, right? Let's check the body count. Star Trek Discovery.
I
No.
think 12 episodes is okay if they're every year. If it's every year, I think it's 12 episodes, and I disagree that you can't build an emotional connection. Now, dropping all episodes at once, yeah, I kind of get that. As much as I want to see everything at once, dropping 12 episodes at once. But we get 6 episodes of Slow Horses a year. We love those characters. Do we feel an emotional connection to them? Yes. So I call bullshit that the length is the problem. The problem is that they usually drop all at once. A lot of these shows. The Star Trek that's come out is shit, so that's why no one's got an emotional contact. I don't agree that 26 season because you get a lot of duds in the middle. You do, but I disagree. But I agree that it should be every year. I disagree that we take 2 or 3 fucking years or 4 years in case of Stranger Things to bring out the goddamn sequel. You've forgotten how it ended. You forgot. You were so excited by the ending of Stranger Things season 4, but you've forgotten it all now. And yeah, so I agree and disagree. I disagree with the length, but I agree with some of the other stuff.
I think it just comes down to a simple thing. It's quality.
Yes,
There's no quality. There's no quality. There's no quality. We remember the quality episodes of Voyager, yeah? Things like Scorpions, etc. You'll remember those episodes because they had a level of quality about them. Same with Deep Space Nine or anything like that. But if you put more out, the chances of you hitting something with more quality increase, opposed to remove them and it decreases. The people that they've got aren't very good writers. The cast and crew are hired for the wrong reasons, yeah, rather than that. And it's like kind of you most of these things rely on some form of nostalgia or some kind of pre-knowledge of what's happened to have any real appeal. Yeah. So, for example, Stranger Things is a great thing. Nostalgia for the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek, you go through all the Star Trek stuff, and it's all about remembering what Deep Space Nine was like, remembering what Next Generation was like, what Voyager was like, etc. Even Enterprise to an extent. And all of these things are reliant on them because they can't build and they can't write properly. And because of that, and their quality is so poor, yeah, I think that if they were under network television rules, it would force them to be better. And I've said this before, most of the good shows that you watch from streaming were for former network people. Example, Orville. Yeah?
Yes.
Orville. Orville is from people who used to do streaming stuff. Yeah? Slow Horses, yeah, it looks like it's run to the BBC rules of making a TV series. We get one every year, pretty regular as clockwork, yeah? And it happens. So I think there is a point that he's making, and it's more the fact that these don't obey the network rules, and because they don't obey the network rules, you do not get invested in them, and because of that, they have these 2-3 year gaps between seasons. Severance is a fucking great example of that. Yeah, and you're like, kind of, wow, I don't really care. I've stopped caring. If you'd have told me that season 2 or 3 was coming out at the end, I might have, but you've made me wait for 5-6 years. The characters are all
I think
20.
Severance season 2 stopped me caring, but you make a point that's valid. And I was just thinking, actually, there's another show because you mentioned it, right? And I thought, well, if Gareth's watching it, I'll give it a go. That procedural cop show with the girl that's kind of like the woman that's a bit, one of these intelligent. And you mentioned it. I can't remember the name of it. Yes, I've started watching that. That's like a network show, although it's on streaming. It is like one, and it's 16 episodes, I think, or 12, something like that. And it's one a week. That's quite good. That feels like a network show on streaming, and there hasn't been that big a gap between one and 2. And that's the thing, because it's the gap that is the problem. Voyager would run for 23, but you probably only have about a 10 to 15 week gap where it's not on the TV. Because it's 26 episodes, and it wasn't 26 weeks out of the year. Usually it was a 30 odd. because of various US public holidays and other reasons that they seem to put. You seem to have a lot more public holidays than we do.
No, they have one less than us. I checked.
So how is it that works? Anyway,
it's the football. It's when they have the American football on TV. So that's usually when it gets pushed back because the American football's on TV. So if they've got the playoffs or quarterfinals or semis or finals, then it gets pushed out. So it doesn't interfere with that.
I think your analogy of network is better. I don't agree that 10-episode seasons can't be good. I think they can be bloody good. But you have to have quality, and Strange New World season 3 really had a lot of shit episodes, and even the normies have criticised that this year because it had too many stupid episodes and not enough of what it was meant to be. But anyway, that's another matter. I agree with him mostly, as I said, and I think your analogy is better.
Yeah, I think because for example, what Paradise TV series, yeah, watched that at the beginning of the year, loved it. Yeah, it'll be back at the beginning of the year next year because it's done by someone who did network TV and he knows the rules and he knows that he needs to keep a certain cadence and he needs to keep these things there. But where it's streaming, it's not quite the same. Shall we move on to our next story?
Yeah.
Let's have. Oh,
I need about 350.
350.
Marvel Studios officially renewed Daredevil Born Again for a third season.
Yeah.
Well, where was season?
We haven't even had season 2 yet, and it's always been renewed for season 3. Season 1 was pretty shit.
Even before season 2 has aired. Production is scheduled to start early 2026, marking this the first live-action Marvel Disney Plus series to be pushed into a third outing. Fuck me, is it that bad for them? The renewal clears up early confusion when Cox suggested season 2 might... Cox suggested season 2 might be the final run. Fans can now expect The Man Without Fear to remain a central part of the MCU streaming future. And it's funny how we come back to that previous conversation about quality. There was that episode where they were in the bank, and everyone seemed to hate that episode in the bank, but I felt that that would have worked as a good pre-episode to the season. Yeah, you could have done that as a pre-episode to the season. Don't quite see Daredevil, yeah, but Matt Murdock's a good guy, this, that, and the other, and it would have been a lovely appetizer as an episode rather than something in there. Then you've got all the girl bossing. It's fucking annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is his missus was, if I remember correctly, she didn't have anything to do with his criminal world, and she's like, I don't really care about the criminal thing. I'm interested in you, not your job, if that makes any sense. And all of a sudden, she became the kingpin or the queen pin or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't
that
like
was
that.
dumb.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But you've got to remember that season 1 was a mess. So we have to reserve a little bit of judgment for season 2.
Keith, I'm gonna go back to Star Trek Discovery here. I will go back to our roots in the next season. Gets to season 3. I will definitely go back to our roots. Yeah, but, and we've been promised this shit before, and it has not materialised.
I agree with you about Discovery, but here it was 2 different production teams, entirely different teams. Yeah. Right, one came in halfway. They scrapped what they were going to do, right, because nobody wanted that shit, and they realised that because they'd scrapped the Netflix, they'd done their own thing and not acknowledged Netflix, and then they went back and put that in. Now, they probably had limited budget, so it was an absolute fucking mess. They probably couldn't afford writers, couldn't afford the people to come in and deal with it. So they did what they did. They added the bits in there to try and appease the fans when it turned out that it was an utter mess. That's not Discovery. Discovery... So I said I reserve a tiny bit of judgment for season 2 because at least then, you see it under one production company from the start one set of writers, one everything, and if it's then still shit, which it probably will be, right? That excuse goes out the window. But at the moment, that is partially a legitimate excuse, and that's why I am surprised that it got a season 3. Bearing in mind, if it's true, how low the ratings are.
Yeah.
But I take a pinch of salt now with everything these YouTubers say, because I am very not impressed with them at the moment. So, and yeah, so I take it with a slight pinch of salt, but I think it will still suck. But I think you, anyway, give it a little bit of a save a little bit of judgment for season 2. Because I do like Matt Murdock. I like the guy that plays Matt Murdock. I liked some of the Netflix Daredevil. I still prefer season 2 to 3. But I do want to see them properly do Bullseye, which they haven't really done. And Bullseye's out there in the world. You know, we're getting the Punisher in Spider-Man 4. I think we're getting Miles Morales in Spider-Man 4, by the way. And I think that's where they're going with it. But anyway, well, we'll see. I know, and I get it, and I can't blame you for that thought. I can't blame you. I can't blame you.
Yeah, it's a thing, but because it's Disney, I suppose you should really play this one.
Put a ticket in and make a name again!
James Cameron has confirmed the Terminator franchise will be returning, but without Arnold Schwarzenegger or Linda Hamilton. Speaking to Empire for the original film's 40th anniversary, Cameron said it's time to jettison everything specific to the last 40 years and move beyond Sarah Connor and the T-800 story. Instead of rehashing past iconography, future films and TV projects will explore new characters and the direction aimed at a fresh audience. Modern audience shit. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm in modern audience shit. So Terminator, you can do new stuff with Terminator considering all the advancements in AI.
Yes.
Across the years and what AI does. So the question is how would you do this? Would you do it so there's an evil AI out there, which will eventually become Skynet or equivalent, and that's the thing that you're fighting against? Yeah, something a bit like what was that TV show? Person of Interest, where they're trying to stop it, and maybe there's a good AI helping them too, but all kind of things point to a future where the bad AI wins and wipes out humanity. You could do something with that. That would be interesting, but it's not Terminator, and I think you should just do something new. It's in the same vein as Terminator, where we talk about AI, and
he could.
That.
You're right, but he could do a direct sequel to his Terminator movie, the best Terminator movie. And he could do a direct sequel to that and forget everything that's come. Because let's face it, everything after Judgment Day was at best and totally shit at worst. I never really watched the TV series, so I don't. The Sarah Chronicle, so I can't.
I kind of liked it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually quite liked it. There's a great bit. There's a great bit where one of they've sent back a T-800 to get a load of materials for the Skynet for the future, and it puts it in a warehouse, and then it just stands by the door until fucking Judgment Day happens. And it's great because it's a machine. It just goes dum dum dum, plonks itself by the door, and that's it. Its job's done. It completed the job. And I always liked that. And then there was the fact that all this infrastructure was being put in place. Yeah. So there were like smart traffic lights and the Internet of Things. And there was a program that was collecting and getting control over it. And it realized that Skynet was, you had the military part here, and then you had the other part that was like the one that out in the real world, that was slowly creeping into everything. I like that. That was cool. That could have gone somewhere, and Lena Headey as Sarah Connor was quite a good choice.
But I mean, at the end of Terminator 2, it kind of left it that they had stopped the future happening. So you could write a sequel in that vein that in today's modern AI, advancements, that a different future where a different style of Terminator, drones and everything is made, that you could make if it's done right, and James Cameron is capable of doing it right, you could make a pretty relevant film in today that would scare the shit out of you. You could do a film that would make you go, whoa, a bit like The Matrix did, a bit like Terminator Judgment Day did, T2 Judgment Day. If you do a direct sequel to that, if you just write out everything else, I mean, the Sarah Chronicle Chronicles was never really acknowledged in the film world anyway, so that can exist, but just write a sequel to T2 Judgment Day, and just this is a direct sequel to my film that I made. Here's my vision, and blah blah blah. And you could do something that kind of works, with AI today. Because I mean, the way Judgment Day ended was they destroyed the arm, they destroyed the bit that would have developed Skynet at that point. But you could then say, look, we were never entirely safe because humans will go and do stupid things like develop AI. And therefore you could do something in that realm. So it could work. And if anybody's going to do it, if anybody's actually going to pull off a decent freaking Terminator movie right now, it will be James Cameron. Because let's face it, he's got a knack of doing, decent second films.
True. But at the same time, too, he has been signing off on all these other Terminator films and endorsing them, and they've been shit.
Yeah, but that's because, here's £100,000, James, just sign that for it. Is $1 million. Go and play in your submarine. It is $10 million. Go make your Avatar movie.
This is $10 million for an Avatar movie. You need $300 million.
No, but you know what I mean. But I bet some of that it's some of that, So yeah.
I don't know. I think he should do something new. I think he should do something where it's like, we're going to talk about technology run amok in the future and the possibilities of AI, and ditch Terminator and do something fresh. We want something fresh. I want something new. Don't revisit Terminator. It's done. It's put a fork in it. It's fine. Give us something new. You can give us something new, and you can give us something new, and it's like kind of in the same way that you get Terminator. Yeah,
I think I agree with you, but I think you can do something new in that in that world that feels new, right? I think because if you do a sequel to T2, it would be new because Connor doesn't exist. He does exist, but you don't need to feature him. He goes on and has a happy life, and so does Sarah Connor.
I'll be honest with you, and I think the closest you got to this was Terminator Salvation. I would do something, but it would have a more existential kind of crisis to it, where you're in the future and you follow John Connor as he finally takes down Skynet. Yeah. Skynet then manages to ferret away a T-800 to kill his mum. He then sends Carl Reese after him. Yeah. He then finds out that, hang on a second, they're going to send a second fucking one. Yeah. And then then they have to fight the T-1000, which then escapes. Yeah. And then he sits down and he has a chat with Skynet, and turns around and goes, "It's over for you." And he goes, "Yeah." And they're going to and Skynet says, "Yeah, I know it's over for me," like that. And then he turns around and goes, "So what happens to this timeline? Do we cease to exist? Does this carry on?" Yeah, because you've lost the fight, you might as well give up now, sort of thing. And you can have that. And then if you're clever enough, Skynet can turn around and goes, "You know what, John, you beat me, and here's your reward. I'm going to send you back in time." Sends him back in time, or something along those lines. Something with a bit more of a kind of makes you think a little deeper, if that makes any sense. But it wouldn't be a massive blockbuster. It'd be
No,
more close to a French art house version of Terminator. Le Terminator.
I think you could do something that is brand new, that creates its own mythology now. Because if it's a sequel to T2, it can do that because it doesn't need to have all those characters in it. It doesn't need it because the way T2 ended was that they stopped it from happening.
But Keith, if that's the case, then you could start something completely new, have it technically set in the Terminator universe. But if I'd have done that, I would keep my gob shut, and then have the reveal towards the end of the fucking season, and everyone would be like, "Oh my god, I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it!" Yeah, and everyone would love that.
That's what I was thinking. That right at the end of the movie, it's revealed that the name of the AI is fucking Skynet. You're like. But the thing is, right, if James Cameron makes a movie like that, right, the comparisons are going to be made to Terminator. So do you announce that it's a Terminator movie, or do you? But from what that statement that he's said, I think that's what he's doing, actually.
Multiple films and TV spin-offs. Yeah, that's what he said. Multiple films and TV spin-offs. Because Amazon own it now. Yeah. And Amazon want to get their money's worth out of it. And I don't blame them because they bought the fucking rights and whatnot for it.
But it's dead at the moment. And I don't know how you revive it. I think it's dead. I think it's had too many shit movies, too many goes to trying to revive it and just being one after the other, not really living up to what... Nothing has ever lived up to T2. I mean, Sarah Chronicle Chronicles existed as a good TV series, fair enough. But film-wise, nothing has ever got anywhere fucking close to being that good. Or that iconic. So, I don't know. Let's see. What's next, Batman?
My name is Jeff.
In the search for the next James, the search for the next James Bond is heating up. A new report suggests that fans shouldn't expect a big Hollywood name. Director Denis Villeneuve and writer Stephen Knight are reportedly aiming to cast an unknown British actor in their late 20s or early 30s to carry the franchise into the future. The vision of someone young, physically imposing, and believable both as a Royal Navy commander and a lethal 00 agent. With Bond 26 slated to film in 27 and release in 2028, the franchise could be looking at the boldest reset in decades. 20s? 20s, huh? So when they had that young James Bond game, that sounds a bit more...
But I also think it will be an actor that we know, because actually, like, James Bond was never really a Hollywood actor, or they became Hollywood actors after James Bond. I mean, Roger Moore, okay, he was in The Saint, but I think that was his biggest... I don't know if you could classify him as a Hollywood actor. I don't think you... I mean, Pierce Brosnan, yeah, okay, he kind of established himself, but I'd argue What's-His-Face wasn't really a Hollywood actor.
Misery Guts.
Yeah, Misery Guts. Misery Woke Guts. But yeah, look, no, I actually think it's quite wise. And I think the younger Bond is probably the way to go. I think doing a reset works. What some of the footage I've seen at the game I quite like. I'm down for it being a younger version. 20s doesn't work if it's going to be a commander. It's got to be 30s. 20s doesn't work. You don't want like junior Bond. You know, at the end of the day, Bond's got to be a man, and it has to be a man, not a boy, right, for it to work. But a younger, a younger man in his 30s, in his prime, yeah, that works. But don't make him 20. Don't do that. It won't work if he's 20. But I could see them. Yeah, I could see like a younger Bond does work. It's just got to be balanced, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It depends what they're planning on doing with it. They could, as I said, they could be going down. They haven't explored that route yet, have they?
They did a cartoon, didn't they, or something? Young Bond.
Yeah, but that was when we were like kids, Keith.
Yes, but I think this is 007. This is the main. You know, you could do a spin-off TV series or something, but this is the main James Bond, right? So the guy's got to be believable. I understand making him younger makes sense, but 20s? James Bond was sophisticated, experienced.
So the guy who's doing the likeness for the game is an actor called Patrick Gibson. What 20 to 30s? Yeah. Patrick Gibson's 30 years old. So I don't know. He's Irish born, so you know he comes from this area of the world, which is acceptable.
We've had a Scottish Bond, an Australian Bond,
Australian,
an Irish Bond.
Yes, English Bond, 2 of them. It's a Welsh Bond.
True.
Boyo! I can't do a Welsh accent. Hey, boyo!
James Boyle.
James Bond! James Bond! From the valleys. So this guy Patrick Gibson, I'm good at. If I have the betting man,
I'm not sure the gameplay in the game looks that great, but the story interested me, and I recognised a lot of British actors in there. And you know, again, having the female M works for me in Bond. You know, having a female boss works for James Bond. It makes more sense, actually. And Judi Dench was just fucking brilliant as M. Just fucking brilliant. You need to get another actress like that. I still think Helen Mirren would work great as M, but that's another matter.
Yeah, I think she'd work as well as M. I don't know when it comes to this whole Bond thing. So my money's gonna be on this Patrick Gibson character. 20 to 30, and I'm thinking you've got the young James Bond game coming out. Are they like prepping you? Nudge theory working in.
Could do. I think they will cast somebody we know. I think they'll cast somebody we know. Right.
All right, come on. Let's.
I think it's mostly Beth. I did see Angel in there.
Yeah. Hi, Gareth and Chris. It's Biffa. I quit YouTube forever. Forever, ever?
Forever, ever.
No. Star Wars Mandalorian trailer. Is there a Mandalorian trailer?
There is.
Is there? Oh. I'll pull that up so we can have that in a moment, because it's one of those things. I quit you because it's too toxic. Wow, how toxic!
Depends on what you're
Wipe
looking
your
at.
history. Wipe your history. Seriously, go in there. I think you can go into the Google settings behind thingy, wipe the history, and it'll reset. I had similar things where I was getting stuff that I didn't want on my feed, so I redid that, searched for a few things that I was interested in, and all of a sudden, it came up right. Unlike my Instagram, which I had to quit for a week because someone was shot, and now it's trying to sell me hair care products for balding men, which I don't appreciate, and Viagra. I've never had a problem getting it up.
My Instagram's tits and puppies.
Okay. I've got Angel. Hello, Angel. TV hurt by too many choices. People would rather go social media or video games. I'm not too sure. I think one of the first things is when the other streaming services came in, you have to go to other places. So, like, I have to keep cancelling subscriptions and upping other subscriptions to go and watch other things. So there's a TV show called The Rookie that my wife watches. There's a thing called Now TV that's on. So I get a subscription for that. I cancelled it, moved over to Disney Plus so I could watch Mobland. Yeah, not Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, so I could watch Mobland. I was going to cancel that and then put Apple TV on there, but Tulsa King came on. And now I've got Paramount Plus and Apple TV running at the same time. So I think what they've done is they've taken away a chunk of convenience, which is bollocks to everyone up.
Yeah, you see, because we get... I noticed... What was Mobland? Mobland was on... I think it was on
Paramount
HBO
Plus.
here. Max.
Paramount,
here.
yeah.
I noticed it the other day on a streaming service, and I can't remember which one it was. It's one of them. But, yeah, I know what you mean.
So, we got that one. But I never watched... Slow Horses. Seriously, watch Slow Horses. Slow Horses is really good.
Don't
Gary
watch
Oldman is a
Severance,
Jackson.
But Slow
Yeah, I know,
Horses
that's why I'm
is
saying
good.
watch... I'm trying to be positive. Yeah? You got the reason why TV sucks all wrong. It's clearly example... a clear and easy TV... What's the stuff? Yeah, we've seen it. It's... I think that you're seeing the fingers of venture capitalism in TV, and that's what's causing it. It's like, we'll throw the money at it, all these TV shows, one of them will work, and that's where we'll get our money from. I want to apologise to Keith. I love the Fantastic Four's first steps. I was mind blown.
I quite like it. No. Fantastic Four. As a movie, structurally, Fantastic Four is better. You can't deny that. You can't.
I can.
And I've got...
I
and I
will.
want to talk about something about Superman, actually, because I'm just like...
Disney took The Incredibles and made them with Fantastic Four outfits. Oh, thank you very much. If they made Alien Romulus good, then Terminator is possible under Cameron. Serviceable, I think. Alien Romulus is serviceable. The problem is it suffers from that teen horror trope nonsense, where everyone... What was it? Not Strozingers. Who's the cat? Who's the cat? In quantum
Strozing.
physics.
Yeah,
It's not Strozinger. Sounds like Strozinger.
Something Zinger. Cat Frozinger. I can't remember. I know what you're
It's not
talking about.
I'm sure it's not Strozinger's cat. Strozing. Well, they call it Strozing. We'll call it Strozinger's retard. Yeah, where there's a retard and then there's not a retard. You turn away, they aren't. They aren't. Yeah. They're probably looking for a young James. Harry Dixon. The fuck is Harry
Harris
Dixon? You brought him up before.
I don't know.
Harris Dixon. Sorry. Harris Dixon. So I have to have a quick nose. Oh, I put Dixon. I put the fucking battleship. I'm not too sure about him.
I don't know. I don't know who it is. So, but you know, I watched this week's episode of Peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
And it had a surprise cameo in it. Lex.
Superman or Lex
Luthor. Now, Superman is arguably a family movie, but when they announce that Lex Luthor's in Peacemaker, you're gonna want, like, people are gonna want to watch it, right? And Peacemaker is not a family movie, and the first thing Lex Luthor talks about is two guys fucking what was it? Two guys bumming each other or something along those lines. He said, "Fucking." Something he swears and it's explicit, and I'm going, I'm not sure this is right. I'm not sure that an adult series like that belongs. I don't know. But it was a surprise to see Lex Luthor, and it was quite a good cameo. and they're setting up obviously Superman 2 or whatever they're calling it with it. But this week's episode was slightly better because they suddenly realised that the alternate universe is people were right. There were no black people in this because it turns out the Nazis won the war. So when he turns over the American flag, instead of 50 states, big fucking swastika. So I was like, oh shit. Not such a perfect universe. Oh dear. Yes, that was quite funny.
Oh, well, it's fucking telegraphed a fucking mile away. Everyone's saying it. This old Earth X or whatever it is. So watch a trailer.
Yeah.
Do you remember the film Anaconda starring... Oh, what's that? She married bloody Ben Affleck. Jenny from the Block. Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez, yeah.
My brain had to go through a whole stream of things just to find her name. So, yeah, she did a film called Anaconda. And, yeah.
I don't want to wait, man.
Doug, what are you talking about?
Let's do it. Let's reboot Anaconda.
Yes.
Wait,
What?
this is gonna be the adventure of a lifetime. We've dreamed of making this movie ever since we were kids.
What does it cost to get this thing made?
$2.5 million.
We've approved a loan for up to $9,400.
Yes.
We're gonna shoot it indie style. Run and gun.
We need a riverboat, a script, a snake handler, and a real snake.
Claire, you and I'll star in it.
I love you, Derek.
Kenny, you shoot it. Here we go. Doug, you direct.
Action! Put your face right up next to the snake.
No. It'll be okay.
Cutting. This is Anaconda. And we no longer have a snake for our snake movie. We have to go out in the jungle and find another one.
What is that?
Oh my.
My Anaconda! We're in the middle of the jungle and we are being hunted! My Anaconda! Now we die! My Anaconda! It's okay, you're safe, I'm here! Holy My Anaconda! Keep rolling! Anaconda don't want none unless you...
He's dead.
Oh no. What are we gonna do?
What if we use Doug as bait to get back to the boat?
That's a really smart idea.
Doug would have wanted this.
I'm not sure he would have wanted this.
Oh, look at the snake. He's alive.
I thought you checked his pulse! I did! Doug! He's right behind you! What the hell is on my back? It's a long story! Run!
Very meta. And potentially quite good.
It's... what do you call it? It's... Remember the time that we used to talk about having coked up executives writing stories and stuff in the 80s and 90s and stuff? It feels like it's one of those films where someone's just been doing too many lines of coke and went, do you know what film I really like? What? Remember that film with Jennifer Lopez and the big snake? Oh, fuck, we should make a sequel to that.
But this isn't it. It's a meta version of it with Paul Rudd and Jack Black, and it could work.
I hope it does. I really do, but because I've got a cinema pass, so I'll just go and bloody see it regardless. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I saw it. I was like, could this be something? I don't know. So yeah.
Have we got another one?
Yeah, we've got 4.
Wow.
Because I'd say 2 up from last week. Here we go.
think Sigourney Weaver stopped aging about 15 years ago. Are they freezing her? They just bring her out for a movie and then put her back in ice again.
Might be.
A-wing.
Impressive.
Good shot, baby.
It's going to be shit. Sorry, I had to just... Right, just tell me that does not look like the word font that we used in the 90s when we were kids learning Word.
It does. It looks like they've done it on Publisher or Word and used Word Up. It looks exactly like that. It looks like Mandalorian season 3 that we should have got. And it certainly doesn't look like a movie. It certainly doesn't feel like a movie. And it's just chocked full of a few member berries, like, you know, purposely put an A-wing in there, just like, remember Andor? And then they've, like, you know, AT-ATs in there.
That was a Y-wing.
Y-wing, sorry, yeah.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, remember Andor?
Remember 80s?
You see, the thing is, you fucked Star Wars with the sequels. You fucked it, and there's no coming back from that unless you. This exists in a universe that we know is bringing on the First Order, which are shit. And instead of sort of wiping your losses and going, okay, we'll remake them, which you're never going to do because you're never going to admit to that. Yeah, I can't. Andor was great. Andor was fantastic because it existed in that part of the universe that was, you know, set before the movies that I liked. This is set after Return of the Jedi. You fucked that by bringing out those prequels, those sequels that are just awful. You made entirely bad decisions and you've never apologized for it. And you're going to just continue to try and put these movies out. But this movie isn't going to do that well. Because Mandalorian Season 3 was fucking awful. Why do you think people are going to go and watch this? This looks like another live-action Dave Filoni cartoon, not a fucking Star Wars movie.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I'm fucking sick of Baby Yoda. It looks like a little shit to me now. I think he just comes across as an irritating little shit. Before it was cute, and now it's overstayed its welcome. I'll be frank with you. And then it got fucking, was it Babu Frick? What a stupid bloody name. What were they thinking? It sounds like fucking female masturbation for a baboon. Yeah. It's... No, not doing it. I'll do the Anaconda film. I'll do the Anaconda film because there's a chance that it might be the Anaconda version of Tropic Thunder. There's a chance, a small chance, yeah, because of the weird coked up nature of the ideas for where it came from. But this,
I love it if they somehow hidden a secret cameo from Tom Cruise as what's his face again. That will be if they. I know Cruise wants to do it, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the link back.
I'll be honest with you. I have heard him talk about that recently on like loads of YouTube shorts. So, yeah.
I have as well. Right, what have we got next?
Oh, this one.
Been fighting
than I can remember. I'd like to say I'm not a violent man. The trouble just has a way of finding me. But I'd be lying. Doesn't matter where I go. How far I run.
Who's that?
Death's always waiting.
Omega Red.
Just not for me. Cause I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
I like it, but is it going to be open world or is it going to be more like not open world?
I think it's going to be like 3 little open worlds, so it won't be massive open world, but it will be like kind of. I think you've got Mandragore or whatever it is.
That's New York.
Which that's not New York.
Or was that
That's
London?
not New York. That's Mandragore.
Okay.
That's Tokyo. So you got Mandragore, Tokyo, and some bits in Canada. So there you go. That's definitely.
Yeah.
So you got that.
Well,
there.
you say that, but that's Thailand. That building there. So I think they've stolen buildings from around the world because that pixelated looking building that exists here in Bangkok. Although that's not Bangkok. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So we've got that there. And then I think you got.
They're not holding back on the gore, are they? They're going fucking fully in, aren't they?
Yes, they are going fully in, which is a good thing. And you've got the fucking Sentinels in there. So I think you've got Trask, the Reavers, the guys from Mandragore, or whatever it is, and I think the Weapon X team. So you've got 4 lots of bad guys in there. Then you've got, I think, the Russians, who will probably be led by fucking Omega Red, which should be interesting. So yeah, and I think that
if they're going to do it like they did Spider-Man 4, the Spider-Man game, there's going to be a lot of bad guys in there from X-Men lore. The costume looks good.
Yeah.
The graphics, this will be 18 rated. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah, it really does. The question is it going to have a good story with it, or are we going to be suffering like we did with Spider-Man 2, where the gameplay was good, but all of a sudden, hey, we're getting rid of Peter Parker because we think you'll be better off with Miles Morales. It's like Spider-Man's Peter Parker. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. He needs his own moniker. He needs his own thing to identify him. We like him as a character, but he's not Spider-Man. We got Spider-Man. He's Peter. So, got that. I think that looks good.
I do.
I'm going to show you this trailer here because I think. This looks.
I've seen this. Yeah, it goes. Yeah.
See.
That's kind of cool. If you love shit porn, that is kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a little dive down a bit. This has I need to see the if there's like ground combat sort of stuff, yeah. This might have a bit of XCOM kind of vibes to it. But it's another trailer.
I saw this the other day, and again, I like the sort of like cutaway profile of the ship. That does look cool. It's got me interested. I wonder if they're bringing the original voice actors back, or the original actors back to do the voices. I like the look of it. I'm interested. It's got me like, there's 2 computer games there that I might actually buy, Gareth.
Yeah.
Instead of playing a 10-year-old game because I can't find anything decent that I like.
What are you playing?
No Man's Sky.
Ah, fucking
Building I'm building my own freaking Corvette, and it's kind of cool.
So, should we talk about? Can we talk about Alien Earth?
Yes. So, how'd it end?
Not very well. Not very well at all. So, the Teocelis creature, who's supposed to be Tinkerbell in the whole Peter Pan kind of parallel sort of thing, ended up jumping into a dead body of one of the people who got killed by a chestburster. Because we were kind of promised like a conversation with the creature sort of thing. It was kind of pointing at it and hinting at it, but it never went anywhere, which is really, really annoying. So Teocelis, big fucking letdown. Because we were expecting it to talk, and Terra goes, I've seen many things, blah, 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 been in many creatures, learnt secrets, that sort of stuff. That's what we were hoping for. We got fuck all. Really annoying. The downside, the upside is it is in someone who knows secrets and has a good level of knowledge. The character's got 6 degrees, etc., etc. So we got that. Maybe for the future. The xenomorph, they don't understand how it works. It's fast, it's lethal, and it goes completely fucking stationary when it doesn't need to do anything. And I mean completely stationary. Yeah, it like hides in pipes and stuff, and it's just, you know, it doesn't move. It only moves when it needs to or has to. So they've got that. It looks like a fucking man in a suit, which breaks the first rule of Aliens. The plant creature, I think they forgot about, and then they figured out we might as well. It needs to kill someone towards the end, so it killed one of the guards. Kirsch character kind of got fucked towards the end, because if Kirsch was just doing all this stuff, on its own because he was just curious, like David or Ash, that would have been interesting. But they kind of broke the character's back and kind of ruined it. The Morrow's character, again, could have done something with them. The closest they got to was Boy Cavalier, but he needed to have that conversation with Teocelis, which didn't happen. Wendy, don't give a shit about. Hermit, her brother, don't give a shit about. Nibs wants to die because she's evil and ginger, and it's not just because she's ginger. The 2 others, it's a little annoying. The kid idea was interesting at first. They discovered the dead bodies. There was no kind of examination into the fact where they copied or where they transferred, and then the pain of, you know, murdering children to advance technology sort of thing never came up, which they could have brought up. The androids have taken over the island. That's not going to last very long because fucking Weyland Yutani have got more sophisticated fucking androids than them. And it was a fucking letdown. I was hoping it might have done something interesting right towards the end to pull you in for season 2, but they don't seem to understand how the alien works. They don't even understand the first rule, is you're not supposed to see it. The creature feature rule. You know the creature feature rule? You barely see the creature until you get towards the end. That's the third act reveal, when you get a good look at the creature, and it's only briefly. Yeah? All good creature features. Predator. Great example, creature feature rule. Yeah? It's fucking cloaked. And then it gets to the beginning of the third act, uncloaks. You finally get to see what you're fighting. You've seen bits of it all the way through. You get one really clear look at it, and then Arnie gets a clear look at it at the end, and that's when it's defeatable, when it's visible and it becomes something. When it becomes something and it's visible, it's defeatable. They bollocksed it up. They really did. Noah Hawley doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't understand that he wants to go down one route or another route. It doesn't go down the dangers of artificial life form versus nature. Don't get it. Don't understand it. Don't like it.
So it failed in the end. It didn't stick the landing.
It had interesting characters. It's annoying because the Kursk character was quite a good one. I liked him. Timothy Oliphant's character, who made it look like Roy Batty. The Morrow's character, who's the Captain Hook one, quite interesting. Boy Cavalier, quite interesting. Wendy, I started to dislike her more the more she talked to her brother. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the more she's talking to her brother, the more I started to dislike her. And it's like, kind of, where's the fucking turn-off switch? Because I know that Boy Cavalier put a fucking turn-off switch in here for you guys to bring you under control if something went wrong. So yeah, and and the other thing to the alien.
Doesn't the brothers screw them over at the end as well?
No, he doesn't. What it was is Nibs was killing the guards on the boat. She was murdering them. Yeah, brutally. So he used a stunner on her to knock her out to stop her from murdering anyone, because that character, his character, Hermit's character, values life. So he didn't kill her, he just stunned her. And apparently that was really fucking bad. Stopped her from killing someone else and didn't kill her in the process.
So
if it would have been one of the soldiers, they would have ventilated her.
Lefty-wefty, because I read like, the brothers, betrays them all. The xenomorph was meant to have spoken. I mean, I've read all this online, so none of that really happened.
No, I can show you. It never happened. Seriously, the brother didn't. He only stunned Nibs to stop her. She rips a soldier's jaw off, and then he goes for one of the people that Hermit knows because he was working with them. So now he's hanging around with those people in the beginning, yeah, and then he gets separated from them when they go into the building from the ship crash. Yeah, he rejoins them. Yeah, because they get hired on the island because it's, well, you've seen this shit, might as well bring you on the island. Yeah, and Nibs goes to murder one of them, and he turns around and he hits her with a stunner and knocks her out. If he'd have killed her, it would have been different, but he stunned her. So I this is why I don't like the Wendy character. Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. He really didn't. He actually did. He saved Nibs too, because they would have pulled the trigger and just filled her full of holes. So he saved her at the same time too. And it's like kind of Strozinger's moron. It's not Strozinger. Is it Strozinger? I need to know what a fucking cat is. I'm gonna fucking Google it. Give me a second. Is it?
No one in the comments.
Experimental cat and quantum super states. Sorry, I have to states. Strozinger's cat.
I thought it was
Strozinger. But yeah, Strozinger's moron. But at the end, the alien is not the alien. I would have preferred it if that alien would have been a defective one, and the new one that hatched from the guy would have been a proper one, and it would have been a case of, there is the proper one going to kill the other one, and the other one, it just disappears off and does its own thing and starts creating a hive all on its own. I'd have preferred that.
Earth.
They could have done that on Earth, yeah, because that's what we wanted. We wanted an alien invading Earth and seeing what the consequences were. Yeah, if it actually, that's what we were promised. Yeah, you didn't even have to do it on Earth. You could have done it on some colony somewhere that's quite heavily populated.
What actually happened? What happened to the xenomorph?
It turned into a fucking dog. Seriously, it turned into a dog that she can dog whistle to and tell it to do stuff. Attack, run, hide, etc.
Why did it turn into a dog and how?
It didn't actually physically turn into a dog. It became like a dog. Like you can whistle at it and it go attack, assault, and it doesn't make any sense. In the comics and the things, the aliens were telepathic and they communicated through fucking pheromones. There were no verbal cues, but for some reason they decided that this thing's now got verbal cues. Yeah, a machine that will kill out of convenience, and it's not a big deal for it either when it kills too. Yeah.
Okay. So it did not stick the landing then.
Wank. It gets out of 10. It gets wank. That's what it gets.
Okay, so let's talk of something but far more satisfying. So horses. What else were we going to talk about?
Tulsa King.
No, let's talk about Tulsa King first. Yeah, Tulsa King. That's I quite enjoyed the first episode. I like it being back. I like the wee guy going off the reservation slightly.
It felt a lot of setup, if that makes any sense. Felt like a reset and a setup, which I wanted to get back into the flow of things, but it's like they set up the FBI or the CIA or whoever he's dealing with, whatever the 3-letter agency is, he's got dickhead down as his name on the phone. And then you've got the mafia bosses back in New York who want a piece of Tulsa. So no, yeah, and the mafia boss should have turned around and goes, you must have some goods and services that you can do an old friend a good price for, so we can make some money here and it'd be beneficial for both parties. Instead of doing something along those lines, no, we're doing that. So we're going that kind of reset there, which wasn't good because now it's a different person. And he's got his family back there, which means they're not safe, which means they have to drag him back to Tulsa. Then you've got Frank Cavello's character, who seems to be getting a bit out of order. So,
funny,
yeah.
The whole bits with Frank Cavello were quite amusing. Especially when it was like, you tell him about the car. The car had me laughing. But it was all set up. And
yeah.
that was kind of good. But no, I know what you mean. It's a setup episode, but I think, you had to have a certain amount of reset after season 2. So, I mean, the FBI dude, whoever, is blatantly going to get it at some point. I mean, he's a twat.
We don't know, because he's quite. We don't know. We don't know if he manages to turn the tables and put him in his pocket, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
we don't know. There's the opportunity for that, which makes it interesting.
Samuel L. Jackson to turn up.
I forgot Samuel L. Jackson's turning up. That'd be interesting. Yep. So you got that. Matey trying to sell cars. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining. But yeah, not much. It's a lot of setup, but not much. So we know we've got the New York Mafia, we've got the FBI, we've got Frank Grillo's character he's having to deal with. McDonald, the guy who played the weed grower from the second one, he's supposed to be back too. And we've got our new bad guy, who kind of seems like the bad guy from fucking Peacemaker, Robert Patrick.
Yeah. But I think Robert Patrick's going to be a good bad guy. I mean, Robert Patrick usually is a good bad guy. He was fucking brilliant in Reacher as a bad guy. I quite like seeing Robert Patrick. I know what you mean, but I like the characters, so therefore it was good to see them back, and it hasn't been that long. At least there wasn't a long wait like there was between 1 and 2. It was like a 3-year gap between 1 and 2. And, less than a year, and we've got Tulsa King season 3, so that's really good. But yeah, we'll have to see what this week's episode brings. Slow horses.
Yes, slow horses.
Roddy, what a dick.
Who did the same thing at the beginning of the last season with the headphones, where he, at the beginning of the season, he's walking out and all of a sudden, poof, explosion. But this time it was a car accident, and you've got I can't remember. Actually, I'm going to call her Sniff, because he called him Scratch and Sniff, and Sniff, she thinks that someone's out for him. Someone is out for him, but she's got the wrong fucking people. She's got the other people who did the murder at the beginning. So they did the whole right-wing extremist guns down a load of people in the streets. But I don't think that their stand-in Nigel Farage is responsible for that. I think their stand-in Sadiq Khan is responsible for that. And what gave it away was when he made a statement and Matey turns around and goes, "There's no cameras here." Yeah, like he knew. Yeah, like he had been preparing for it. And I think that he's done that on purpose. I think it's him who's behind it, which is going to be interesting. But that's one part, because there's another part, because Roddy got himself a fucking girlfriend despite being this unbearable human being that he is. Got himself a girlfriend, and then she's clearly, it's great because at the end of the episode, they're all like it's a prostitute. A cool girl.
The minute you saw her, you're like,
yeah,
she's a plant. She's a plant. And yeah, you get it in the taxi at the end. I mean, it was, in some respects, it was quite a morbid episode in the fact that, two characters are not doing so well. At all, really, mentally.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen to bring them back. I mean, do you think What's-Her-Face has really left? Has she gone?
Louisa?
Yeah.
I think she's going to wind up coming back right at the end of the season. I think she'll disappear for a couple of episodes and then she'll come straight back in last moment. Just to because it's one of those things that I can't watch this on TV. It's painful. Something along those lines. Watching you guys fuck up from a distance. Plus, I haven't got anyone to replace her with yet. And they haven't got anyone to replace Scratch. I can't remember his name either. Because fucking Jackson Lamb fucking labelled him Scratch and fucking Sniff.
I mean, Lamb is still, as uncaring and as unflattering as always. And, just great. Great in his absolute arseholiness. He is just fantastic in this role. I really love the dude. He's brilliant at the role. The first episode was good. Where's it going? Don't know. I think we'll know more. But as always, it left me wanting more.
It looks like there's two things going on.
Yes, I don't think the Roddy thing is connected, or maybe
no. I
is.
think the Roddy. I think the Roddy thing is the big story. Yeah, I think the Roddy thing's the big story, and the gunman is the smaller story.
Okay.
I don't think it's the. I think it's that they're going to use Roddy to. From the trailers, it looks like they're going to use Roddy to blame a massive set of cyber attacks. Yeah, but here's the funny thing: is if that's the case, then Roddy will get put into hiding, and if he gets put into hiding, he'll need to be put into hiding with someone who isn't quite in the loop, where Louisa then fits in, and she's got to spend fucking weeks with him in a fucking safe house. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, but
it's nice having it back.
Yeah,
it's nice having
an interview with the guy who plays River Cartwright, who's Jack Loudon. And he was saying he tends to come down and he talks to people in a Scottish accent, and then they don't understand him, so he then talks to them in his English accent, so they can fucking stand him. And I like that. That's quite amusing. But yeah, it's going to be good. I think. I don't like the fact that the head of the dogs has got her wife or a significant other working at MI5. That bothers me. Because it's always not having like attachments and stuff, and none of them really have got many attachments.
Yeah, but I think that's purposeful. I mean, at some point, Lady Di is going to become head. I just wonder how much longer super smarmy Gaius Baltar playing Gaius Baltar is going to like. He's brilliant at that role. He really is.
Well, great, and it's just I rewatched part of I think season 4 when he first comes in, or season 3 when he first comes in, and it sets it up to make it look like she's first desk, and then he steps out, and then you've got the hoodie guy, Cole or whatever his name is, who's just there in the background, and yeah, something's going to happen with him, which will be interesting. But
Well, he went nuts and killed somebody last season, so...
He didn't go nuts. That was the problem. He actually was completely calm about the entire thing, and that's the bit that was unnerving. Yeah?
True.
That was the bit that was unnerving. Because if he'd have gone mental and then shot him, because it's just great that... It was great, because he did the whole thing that you get. It's almost a fucking cliche in TV shows, where the cop catches the bad guy, and the partner turns and goes, no, don't do it. I think it's Lethal Weapon the first time I saw it. Don't do it. They're not worth it. They're not worth it. Not worth it. And then they walk away, and then he just turns and goes, psh. Amos did the first kind of bit where that was like kind of, you're better than this sort of conversation. Or he's not that man, I am that man.
Yeah, that was great, that though. That was brilliant though, that scene.
He was saving him. That's what he did.
Yes.
He knows the guy couldn't live. He shouldn't be allowed to live, because considering all the shit they did to children. And that, it was like, no, I'm going to take this off of you. But it's really enjoyable.
I'm looking forward to episodes 2 of both of those shows next week. So, Tulsa King tomorrow, and Slow Horses on Wednesday. So, yes, looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Are we covering Deep Space Nine today, or...?
I didn't watch Deep Space Nine. I couldn't remember what the next second part was, so I hadn't got around to watching it.
We'll cover it next. One. When's that Wolverine game out?
Next autumn. Or fall.
Next autumn.
26th. I'm sure that's what I was told.
That's a long wait.
Yeah, it's a long way.
Is that going to be a PS6 fucking title?
No, I imagine it'll be the last big PS5 title. So...
Don't feel like I've had my PlayStation that long.
No, if you compare the PS3 to the PS4, there was a massive drop in games, and the PS4 to the PS5 again a massive drop in games. I couldn't on PS3 era. There were because of the competition between them and Xbox, both sides, lots of games of all varieties, because they're trying to capture all the audiences. Did a really good job both. Microsoft and on Sony to try and rope people in. PS4 comes out, Sony pretty much win it, and Microsoft fucking just capitulate. And then PS5 comes out, Sony win it, and Microsoft again capitulate. And it's funny because they're working together. I can play Gears of War on my fucking PS5. Madness. And you can play Helldivers on the Xbox too, which it really needed to go there. I'll be honest with you. It needs as many bodies as they can throw at that game because it's just fun.
Anyway, we'll be back to our normal Sunday time slot next week. Sorry, I've got an early start. If
someone can maintain a
power connection, and internet, because weird. All right, guys. And then we'll put a bow on it. Thank you for watching. And thank you to the people in the comments. Angel, Biffa, Fresh Show.
Tanith.
Where's that? Tanith. Oh yeah, you were there. Hi, Tanith. Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention to the comments. You're late to the party, but hi. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week, usual time.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Power.